Hello guys, welcome back to the channel again. Today's going to be part 10 of the Arctic series, and we're going to be featuring the Cessna 337 Skymaster for this flight. This is also going to be a mission-oriented flight because we're going to fly from the location we're at now, which is ENSB, out to ENPY and do a cargo drop. And then fly back to this location. So because ENPY is really a basically a helicopter only accessible location, but there is quite a significant village or camp presence there. So we're going to be simulating a replenishment of supplies dropped by air, and so I figured the 337 would be a good model to do that in. And of course that requires the X-Drop plugin, which I will include a link in the description for that if you're interested. Let's get rid of the static elements here. And the ENPY location is approximately 26 nautical miles from this location, so, you know, give or take about a 50-mile round trip. And just a bit of trivia on the 337. It's a pretty unique, model amongst GA aircraft in the sense that it's a push-pull configuration. So that means you have the advantages, the redundancy of, twin engines, but also with it being an inline twin, it does not suffer from the adverse yaw that say a conventional side-by-side twin-engine aircraft would if you were to lose an engine during, especially during takeoff or in mid-flight. And from what I've researched, the unique sound the aircraft has basically nothing to do with the engines and almost everything to do with the fact that the rear propeller is always interacting with the turbulent air from the forward propeller. So it's that interaction that gives it a kind of unique sound signature. And it's also a military model aircraft. I believe it's called the O2. At one time it was a military aircraft, and I imagine some militaries are still using it. And from what I could read on the certification from the FAA, they do forbid a single engine takeoff, and obviously they frown upon non-emergency use of a single engine operation in flight. But that being said, I have done some tests, and the aircraft is more than capable of taking off using a single engine, although obviously your climb rate, as well as the takeoff roll will be slightly mitigated. So as long as you have a little extra space, and there are no obstacles immediately on your climb out, then yeah, you can operate on a single engine. But I would say that if you're going to use the pusher engine, be careful on how much time you spend loitering on the ground, because the way the aircraft is set up, if there's no airflow over it, the rear engine can be prone to overheat. And if it reaches a certain threshold, it will shut down. we should be coming up on our drop location. We're about 5 miles out now. So there we go, that's the drop. So now we're going to head back to our original location. could also do a rough landing while we're in this aircraft. I've never really tried much bush flying with it, so we'll try that. We'll try to see if we can land on the summit there to the right of us. Well, not the prettiest landing, but we definitely were able to stick it. The fun part is trying to get back off of it again. So now we'll head back to our original location. I just thought it would be interesting to see how this aircraft would perform in a landing like that. And although I definitely misjudged the stall speed, you know, it's still survivable. It's really the problem with that kind of landing is, you know, you don't want to stall obviously and hit too hard like I did, but at the same time you don't want to be too fast, because the other end of the runway, as you can see, is basically a 200-foot drop, you know, straight off of a cliff. So I imagine a slightly hard landing is a little better than a, you know, 200-foot drop, sort of plummet into the water. I don't know about you, but both of those AI pilots look like they're possessed to me. Either that or they've been awake for 12 days straight. And I mentioned in an earlier video from this location that on the real world charts that I have, that there was a HFR warning at this airport, which I thought was kind of weird, being that it's, you know, relatively remote and there's not that much at the airport itself. But if you look on the summit that's above the airport as we make our approach, you'll actually see what that's caused by, because there's actually quite a large number of Doppler radar transmitters and a few other things that I'm really not sure what they are, but they definitely seem like they are something that would emit radiation or high frequency radiation. Sort of see them now, but I'll make a low pass over that area as I go in for the turn to land. So yeah, like I say, it definitely looks like probably Doppler, and there's also a weather station that you can see Some of the others I've not really been able to identify. Excuse me. And they could be something completely different. Like I say, just the round dome shape reminds me of Doppler radar. That's about the only thing I know of that really goes inside that kind of installment. But it could also be some type of observatory or, you know, something like that. Who knows? Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this flight. So that was part 10 of the Arctic series featuring the 337. And the next flight will be one of the helo flights. So part 11 will actually be another helicopter flight. So appreciate you guys watching. If you have questions or comments, you can leave them below. And I will leave links for the scenery, the aircraft, as well as the drop plugin in the description. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.